Hello, Facebook world. How are you doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. Working on Instagram here. It's froze up on me, so sorry about that. We'll get it going here. Let's go here. Of course, we're a mess right now. All right. Oh, it's on there. Sorry about this, guys. All right, here we go. So, welcome to Why Invest Wednesday. Already the middle of December. Things are really kicking up here for sure. As we get closer to the holiday, today we're going to talk a little bit about what we can do right now to prepare ourselves for 2021, the best possible things that we can be doing for ourselves, family, so on, as well as just get a quick touch on the market. Pretty similar stuff going on there, and then a quick story about what I'm doing for one of my clients. It's kind of a crazy deal. So welcome to Why Invest Wednesday. As always, if you like what you hear, definitely subscribe to YouTube, like, share, comment on Facebook as well. Wherever you're watching, Instagram, love seeing your guys' comments and questions. Please let me know you're here. Hashtag live if you're watching live, hashtag replay if you're on the replay. But definitely such a good into our year, and coming into the Christmas holiday, things are really going well. So let's talk about a little bit of 2021, our goals. I'll tell you right now that 2020 was the first year I actually sat down and took a goal setting, took some time, really focused on it. I think I went to the Starbucks here close by, got away from the everyday office and kids and all that stuff. And I actually wrote a letter to myself. I wrote down my goals. And, you always hear it. Most goals that aren't written down don't end up happening. I will tell you from experience that was enlightening experience for me. I wrote down some goals. I wrote down some crazy goals that, I didn't really think were possible. And come December 31st, I should be accomplishing those goals if all goes correctly with my last 4 or 5 deals here this year. So definitely write your goals down no matter what they are. I know I'm going to attack some physical health goals, get back in shape. Obviously, I have my business goals and family goals. I want to spend some time with my family. I have hired an assistant, so that'll be a little more possible as he learns the ways, and we'll go from there. So anything you have, write down your goals. Definitely have them multifaceted as far as family, work, play, whatever they are. Maybe travel. Hopefully we can get that back in 2021. But write down your goals. And here's the deal. What we know about our market right now is there's limited supply and the demand is carrying the day. So our demand continues to increase. The supply continues to decrease. Obviously, right now is a natural time for decline in inventory. But the problem is at the start of December, we were at an all-time low. So that's definitely something we need to work on as we move forward. But since we know all of this, how does that affect us? Here's the thing. The problem is that sometimes we don't think about this as how it affects us. It's, what's going on and how is it affecting everybody else. So what I would suggest is sitting down and asking yourself, okay, am I in my forever home? If you're in your forever home, I would definitely suggest taking advantage of the record low interest rates, refinance, make sure you're in that lowest possible interest rate. You don't have to always, turn back the clock on the amortization time. So it doesn't have to be a 30-year. Could be less. I always recommend getting a 30-year and then figuring out the amortization schedule on your own. That way, if anything were to happen, you can kind of dial it back down to that minimum payment instead of, what you're paying to pay it off in time. But you can always pay, on your own pace, and then you'll save a ton of money interest-wise and that stuff. So regardless of what you do, look at yourself. Are you in your forever home? If you are, make sure your interest rate is below 3. That's what I'm going to tell you right now, because if you're going to stay there for a long time, it makes sense. It makes sense to spend the extra $5,000 or whatever the closing costs will be on the appraisal and the lending fees and things like that, and just set yourself up to be in these record low interest rates, and you'll stay there. And there's no reason to change it at any point. If you need to pull money out, you can always go the HELOC route. You don't have to cash out, refinance, or anything like that. So just a little word of advice there. If we're in our forever home, let's take advantage of the rates and go from there. If, obviously we need to look at our employment situation. What's that look like? Especially in the housing world, we talk a lot about having to work from home and needing that space to be productive. So we keep those jobs. So does your house work for what I think is going to be a work from home environment, probably for a long time for most people, depending on how we come out of this. Obviously, it may go back to normal. You may work somewhere where it's absolutely, you need to be at the office every day. But I think what we're coming to learn is that maybe people will, have a little more trust in us, and we can have those work from home options, and then really minimize what we have as far as our working space at the office. So the company's not going to pay as much in rent and things like that. So is your home set up for the long term for that? Hopefully we don't have the kids home from school, but hopefully we do have some remote working options. Is your home set up for that? For multiple people to be working from home at the same time. If that's not the case, it may be time to make a move. If you need more space, if you're saying, well, in a couple, 3-4 years, we might get a bigger home, and that's perfectly fine if that's normal. But if you're just saying that because you're like, let's just wait and see what happens, I'm here to tell you that you're going to be paying more with higher interest at that time. So definitely take that into consideration when making these decisions, because we still have probably through 2021 to make these moves and take advantage of these record low interest rates. I think they will probably be in the 3s at some point, but I'm not a genius, so I don't know. But even in rates in the 3s are pretty dang good. So just take advantage of the situation. Look at everything that 2020 has given us, and it's definitely, things can change quickly in the housing market. They don't quite change that quickly, obviously. So definitely look at that. Are you ready to downsize? That's another option. Are you ready to downsize? Maybe now's the best time with these inventory shortages going into this spring season. It's going to be the hottest real estate market that we may ever see because of the rates, because of our lack of inventory. I think you're going to be able to get a lot of money for your home come end of next spring, next summer, because all those prices are going to be bid up, and go from there. If we're talking about waiting on that, we've talked about waiting till we hit that highest point. We've talked about that off and on here. You never know when it's going to be the highest point, so I wouldn't gamble on that. I would just, if you're ready to go, make the move. Obviously, we usually have to find a replacement home and go somewhere else. So you're still selling in a good time with the inventory low, and the prices will go up, but you're also buying at a low inventory or a low interest rate time. So we talk about that a lot on here. So just let's have a conversation. I'd love to sit down with you on the phone, a Zoom call, at a restaurant if we can ever go back in Colorado here, and just kind of see where you're at and what you're looking at as far as your goals and what that looks like for you. As we kind of move on to the next, obviously we've talked about this. The real estate market is definitely still going. We're still seeing kind of multiple offers. I have a new listing, which I'll talk about in a second, that has, showings coming on. We put it on Sunday, so it's kind of an awkward timeline for this listing, but it's, we're getting showings. We're going to get offers. We have a verbal offer. We have 2 other showings, tonight that are very interested. So things are still moving. There is definitely less inventory. People don't want, people in their houses during Christmas. People don't want to sell their houses during Christmas. They kind of want to stay home. And then maybe in the spring. And that's why, January, February, we start to pick up, because people kind of pull back during the holidays. So that's obvious real estate market stuff. Still record low interest rates, still no supply, still lots of demand. As for my new listing, just so you kind of have an idea of how I roll, if you're ever to employ me as your realtor. I got a call from a good buddy who is in Phoenix for a month with family and stuff for the holidays and things like that. And he asked me to run numbers on his home. That was Tuesday night. I sent him numbers Wednesday morning. He said, if we could get that, let's list it. So I went over to his house with the garage code, got in, and kind of took a look at what we needed to do to make it ready for pictures and show. So we did that on Thursday. My assistant and I were moving a hide-to-bed couch on Thursday morning because my buddy said, hey, we don't have a couch. My wife sold it as we're, kind of looking to make a move, and, we haven't got a new one. So, and then I went over there. I was like, dude, you have a couch in your office. So we were getting ready to move it, and I took off the couch cushions, and there was a hide-to-bed. And now I know why it was in the office and not in the living room. Anyways, nonetheless, we took the door off, we moved it, kind of took inventory on what we needed to do. Basically, they're leaving town, so there's a few things out and about. So we grabbed some boxes from Home Depot the next day. My wife and her sister, who is looking into doing some real estate assistant stuff as well, came over on Friday. My assistant packed some boxes, and they did as well. We kind of staged it up, just, 5 or 6 boxes, labeled them as where they came from, and we basically got it all staged up. I'll post a link in the comments here. It looks super cool. It's a great listing, and my wife and sister and assistant did a great job getting that ready. We took pictures on Saturday, had it listed on Sunday. Have had 4, 5, 6 showings here in the beginning part of the week. They're starting to pick up as we get towards the end of the week. Had 3 conversations today about people writing offers and things like that. So just going the extra mile. My clients are still in Phoenix. My buddy goes golfing and jumps in pools and stuff and sends me pictures. And we're selling his house on the ground here, taking care of our clients the best we can. So just something that, super cool story about going the extra mile, and definitely love doing that for the people that I care about and serve. So thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. We will have a Why Invest Wednesday, Christmas Eve edition, and we'll get through it, and then we'll have one last one for 2020, and then we'll be in 2021. So Why Invest Wednesday was a creature created early on in 2020, and I'm forever thankful for that. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please let me know if you need anything, and we'll talk soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.